Timmy, today on the podcast, we've got relationship and dating coach, Miss Nora Dekeyser. We talk a lot about the dating stories she's heard and the content she'll create from it. She's worked with 20,000 people at this point and has tons of stories to tell, including potentially writing a book in the future.
That's right. And she's got, what'd you say, double major psychology or
Psychology and business.
There you go. So I think she knows her stuff.
Certainly does. It was a fun conversation. We hope you enjoy. I'm good. Are you good?
I'm great.
All right, we're rolling. What's up, Nora?
What's up?
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome
to the
crib.
podcasting session.
Oh, crisscross applesauce like
yeah,
you. I don't know that I love that, though.
Yeah, I feel left out of the club here.
Do you? I don't know if
you got tight hips.
I know.
I don't have tight hips. I got nice loose hips. That's why I can sit like this for a while.
But tight hamstrings, both of us.
No.
You don't?
No, I'm good.
Just me?
I was a hurdler.
Dude, I have stupid tight pants.
Tight pants.
Tight pants. Tight hammies, baby. Anywho, Nora, what's up?
Not much. I'm excited to talk to you guys. I'm very curious what the questions you guys have.
Yes. She was trying to get the questions out of us before we started.
Yeah, she's like, do you guys know what you want to talk about?
No.
Nah, we don't really.
It's a freestyle. Yeah.
Nora, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah,
so
I mean, the reason why I was asking about you guys, what type of questions you're going to ask me is because a lot of times I work with women, so I'm always interested to hear what type of questions guys have for me. But yeah, I've been a matchmaker for the past 4 years, and I transitioned into becoming a relationship and date coach because I realized that a lot was missing with just working with a matchmaker. People can tell me what they're looking for and send me hot photos of girls, but if you don't got what the girl wants, you're never going to attract that girl. That girl's never going to stay. So I've been working with both men and women on how to attract their ideal partner, and God, it's been a lot of fun. I have a lot of stories. That's
would be
sure.
cool. I'm sure you do.
Oh,
Jesus.
I imagine.
How did you ever even get into that shit?
Into matchmaking?
Yeah, like what makes you be like, I want to be a matchmaker?
Right, exactly. I went to college for matchmaking. I'm just kidding.
Undergrad at USC.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We had a degree in matchmaking.
Yeah.
No, I think I've always been really curious about relationships. I've always been the person that my friends have gone to and have said, "Oh my God, he broke up with me," or "Holy shit, this girl is my dream girl. How do I get her? What do I say?"
Yeah.
So I love doing that. I think I naturally gravitated towards that. But I also found a company that was a matchmaking company, and I was like, "This is my dream job. This is what I want to do." And it just fit. It fit like a glove. I've done it for so long that I think sometimes I need to turn my brain off and stop thinking about why couples are doing what they're doing and what's going on. But that's how I got into it.
Is it like, were you in psychology
That's
or
what
just?
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I doubled in psych and business. I also grew up in a family. My mom's a psychiatrist. So I grew up with our dinner conversations, always kind of diagnosing the relationship and the person and what's going on and why people do what they do. And I always thought I'd go back to school and become a therapist myself. But when I found matchmaking, it's a perfect mix between therapy, but also, confidence boosting and coaching and just teaching people what they already have within them. I think a lot of people get really in their head with dating. Dating is so scary and so vulnerable. But when you have someone like me that can come alongside you and say like, no, you've got this. You just need the steps to figure out how. Yeah. Let's do it together and you'll be there.
And it's probably simple as shit.
It's
like
so
for
simple.
You,
People complicate it.
Right, for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you have like, all right, here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Like if you looked at somebody, you'd probably just have the steps of like, all right, this is what you need to do. Hey, stop showing up with $1 million in your pocket. That's why you're attracting this type of person. Kind of deal.
Well, the interesting thing is that everyone has their own story and everyone has their own blocks to dating. So it's easy, but it's also, it's easy when you know how to do it because what I do with most of my clients is we talk about their past, and that's a big part of why they attract certain types of people.
Sure.
And that can be their upbringing or their first love or any pains that they've been through. But a lot of people just ignore that shit and put it underneath the, under the rug and don't even think about it again and think that they're stronger and bigger than it. But it comes back. It really does. Even if you're in a 10-year relationship with the love of your life, something could trigger you and you freak out and she's asks, who are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? And you're so confused. I try to make it so that you don't get to that point and we work on that stuff before you start dating, before you start attracting someone. Yeah.
So you start there, and are you bringing people in? Like, could I come to you and say, hey, I want this, or are you just people being sent to you within the company? Like, people have reached out to the company, And then
for matchmaking, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of the matchmaking company I work for, it's called 3 Day Rule. And we have over 150,000 people in that database. So those are people that are just
everywhere?
single. Yeah.
All
nationwide.
over the globe, just nationwide?
Nationwide, yeah.
Okay.
So those are people that are single and are interested in being matched up. But to be really honest, that database is very passive. I don't reach out to many people in that database because I only have about 10 clients at a time.
Okay.
But in terms of my clients, what I work with on them is, figuring out what they're attracted to, but then why are they attracted to it? Because oftentimes I had a client yesterday that he wants a very specific look, a very specific personality. And then I realized, okay, his first love was like this.
Gotcha.
I don't think he's stuck to that. And I think if anything, it's probably not working for him because his first love was really neurotic and really unstable and had a lot of issues, to be honest. So he's been attracting someone like that ever since. The type of woman that he has to take care of and fix love and kind of be her savior. And it manifests itself in different ways. It's not always a textbook, oh, she's a mess, I need to fix her. Oftentimes she can look like she has her shit together, and then 5 years later you realize, oh my God, this has all been her kind of like bandaging it up, not really being authentic. So again, I try to figure out those patterns and kind of illuminate them for my clients so that we aren't just looking for a specific girl. We're looking for a specific feeling. We want you to feel good and loved and excited and sexy and all of those feelings.
How hard is it to get someone to realize that? Like, hey, it's
so
not
hard.
Yeah, right?
I work with my clients for 6 months or more. When people ask me to work with me for, one or two sessions, I can, but we can't get to the root of it. We can't figure out what's going on in 1 or 2 sessions. That's the hard part with online dating is you flip up the profile, you see hot people, you swipe right, you go on a date and you think you think you're going to form a perfect relationship in 2 nights of flipping through Bumble. It's not going to happen that quickly. You have to really know what you're looking for.
Yeah. So 3 Day Rule, what's different? I know it's like is it a higher end client? Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. The price point is a little bit pricey, depending on what you're looking for. So that's why I do coaching as well, because I think the value in what we offer is really the coaching.
Gotcha.
So I started my own business about a year ago where I'm working with both men and women who really just want to learn how to attract their person on their own. And with that, I'm going on the dating apps with them, or I'm coaching them before the date or after the date. Yeah,
I'd like to be a fly on the wall for that.
All of that. Or if they're in a relationship that isn't working, we're talking about why and how to fix it. I have a client right now who's married and is extremely unhappy, and they haven't had sex in a year. So, all right, let's figure out what to do and how to fix that.
Yeah. Like right now. In a year?
Well, it is No Nut November.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, mother.
Do you have more male, female? What's the ratio?
50-50. Yeah.
Do you have any couples?
What do you mean? Oh, do I have any success stories?
No, like actual me and you are dating. We come in, we actually like talk to us, or is
that
it
I work
just
with together?
Yeah.
I would love to work with couples. I haven't yet. Usually it's one person in the relationship that is a little bit more motivated or a little bit more aware to the problem.
Sure.
And I always offer for that to come into play, and it probably will be in the future. But right now I've only worked with one person of the relationship.
How do they get in contact with you? Like, how are they finding you?
A lot of people find me on Instagram.
Okay.
Because I share a lot of free content on there.
Right.
And then just kind of word of mouth. A lot of my clients come to me and say, hey, my sister's brother worked with you. I want to know how you did this. I want to know how you fixed their love life.
Yeah. And that's where they just come in, they send you a DM.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Slide into my DM.
And I know you said you did what was the thing you talked about earlier? FabFit Fun?
Oh, yeah.
You've done FabFit Fun, easy for me to say. And then you've worked with some other bigger places. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
I know, like when we went out to coffee, you were talking about a big company. I don't know if you did something with them or not.
I've done a lot of writing for Business Insider, for Elite Daily, because God, love and relationships are really fucking confusing, and a lot of people overcomplicate them even beyond the confusing factor of them. So I try to dumb it down for people and just write everything that I learn. I've talked to over 20,000 singles in the past 4 years in person. I've heard their stories. I've heard about their past relationships, about affairs, about everything that hurts with a relationship.
Jesus Christ.
So I've kind of figured out what makes relationships not work. I figured out what red flags are. I figured out what women actually want in a relationship. I figured out what men actually want in a relationship. And then I share that on those publications. I'm also working on a blog right now.
Hey,
yeah.
Do it.
Because I want to share those people's stories. Because at this point, if we're talking to over 20,000 people, I've heard a lot of stories, but a lot of them have similar themes.
Oh, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
Yeah. So I want to be able to share those themes to the world, and hopefully eventually that blog will turn into a book, and I can really help more than just the people I'm meeting.
See, I like that.
I'm glad you like it.
The content
I'm glad you like it.
Pat approves. You should continue.
Shit like that. Shit like that excites me. Like content on content.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What excites me the most. I got the idea from a client in New York because I used to live in New York and I worked for 3-Day Rule, the matchmaking company in New York. She was one of my first clients. I think one of my first 10 clients or so, and she was an editor for HarperCollins, a book publisher, and we got a drink after I'd worked with her for a long time, and we stayed really good friends, and I'd been coaching her. She was interesting. She was bi, so it was a little bit confusing on what she wanted, and I think a lot of what I worked with her on was figuring out what she wanted.
Yeah.
Did she want a poly relationship? Did she want a guy? Did she want a girl? Did she want to get married? Did she want to have kids? Like, she wasn't sure, so we searched on that for her. And we got a clear understanding of what she was looking for, and I actually set her up with someone that it was working. So that was exciting. But afterward, we stayed friends, and she looked at me and she's like, Nora, you've changed my life, but I'm just one person. And if you wrote what you taught me, you could change millions of people's lives. And that's kind of the seed that planted my idea of just like, holy shit, I want to share all of these stories that I learned and be able to
how long
share
ago
that.
was this?
It was a couple of years ago.
And you haven't done it yet?
And I haven't done it. I'm starting.
All right, good. Balls rolling.
I had to build up my stories. I had to meet those 20,000 people.
Right.
She was only my 10th client.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's soon. Okay. I'm sure you have a gazillion stories.
I
you
have
probably had
so many
a bunch
stories.
then too.
Yeah.
Like good, bad. I'm sure it's interesting. I'm sure you could share like horror stories and like what is the vibe of it? Is the vibe of the blog going to be?
Of
like teaching, learning, or is it like funny? Because you're like funny, smart,
yeah.
witty.
So that was kind of an interesting thing because a lot, when I first meet someone, most people who come to me aren't super pumped that they're single. They're not like, yeah, I was cheated on and now I'm like really hurt by it and I can't connect with women and I just use them to have sex. Like that's not like a fun thing to like yell about. So that's an interesting part about what I'm trying to do is I want to be able to share real stories because that's what people connect with, right? It is when you're going through your own shit and you're reading that and you're like, oh my God, this happened to someone else too? Great. But then, so I think the platform is going to be, okay, I'll share the story. Some of them are more interesting than others. Some of them are sad, like the one I just said. Some of them are funny. Some of them are just like, how did this person not understand what was going on? And then share how I worked with them and what changed them and what I taught them and how that can apply to the reader themselves.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So when are you starting it? Or when are you launching it? You started.
I was a couple minutes late because I was finishing my website on the way
nice.
here.
Way.
Yeah.
Are you doing it yourself, or you're creating the content for it?
Yeah, I'm doing it on Wix, which I really like. I was debating between Kajabi or Wix, and I really like Wix. It's
What's
cheaper.
ours on?
This is all right. Squarespace.
Yeah, I like Squarespace too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't do any website shit.
No.
Timmy handles all that.
That's Timmy. But it's
Wix,
Pat approved.
Wix is much older than Squarespace. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend about SEO, and they mentioned that Wix is really good with SEO.
Yeah, Squarespace is more or less like our current media one. It's on there, and it's just easy. Just pops.
Yeah,
up
our
there,
stuff's
why.
pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's just like
we just
a
wanted a
showcase.
basic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Showcase content.
Yeah.
Podcast, blog.
What do you guys think about the stories that I hear and keeping it positive or interesting? How would you recommend kind of organizing it?
I would like to hear like personal stories from and I personally wouldn't go to it for like the sappiness. I want to hear funny stories. Like people came to you because XYZ, and that's the funny part, and how you like your initial reaction. Okay, in my head I was thinking, Jesus Christ, this is crazy, but what really came out was XYZ. Like that type of thing. I think would be fun.
Like, okay, what you just said made me think of a story of a guy I met. This was a couple months ago. He was a doctor, so sweet, Asian guy. But he kept looking at my boobs. Like,
yes. Now
the
we're
whole
talking.
meeting, my first meeting, the guy's like, so what do you, la, la, la? And his eyes would just like go down. And I'd be like, okay, this is why you're single, buddy. Like this, if you're doing this on dates, you are, even if the girl's attracted to you and excited about meeting you, no girl's going to like that.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah, no, of course.
You did?
Not right away. You know, we did our thing, and then I worked with him as a client, and I said, you know, I noticed you've a wandering eye. I don't know if anyone has ever told you that, but like, let me tell you from a girl's point of view, that doesn't feel good. And I'm not even saying that because I'm working with you. I'm saying that if I was on a date with you, I would tell you that. Another thing I do with some of my...
funny.
See, that's great. I would read about
You'd
that
like
stuff
that.
all day.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Another thing I do with some of my clients that seem nice and are interesting and smart and have a good job and whatever it is, but just can't get on a second date, I'll go on mock dates with them. That's really interesting to do.
Yeah.
Because I get to see, you know, what they're doing wrong. A lot of times with that, they're being too nice or they don't have any edge. And it's just so boring. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So many people are just boring though.
I know.
That's true.
But they've got to find there's everyone has a thing. Everyone has an edge. And when
Do
I tell
they?
everyone does. when I tell men that, they think like, "Oh, okay, I'll go get a tattoo." And I'm like, "No. That's not what I mean by edge." And
Get a
edge
motorcycle.
is right, exactly. And edge is just something that you're super passionate about.
Sure.
Like it can literally be God, it can be surfing, which I think is actually an edgy cool thing. That's hot normally. But
Yeah.
what else is an edge that isn't like if you like to write, like if a guy is a writer and he really likes to write and that's like something that really fuels his fire, that's hot. That's so cool. That's an edge. It's not really the manliest, coolest, quintessential, just like cool thing, but a girl would find that so cool if a guy was into that and shared that. I met a guy the other day that goes to like this writing poetry group thing every 2 weeks and they share their writing and I was like,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's so cool. Yeah.
I kind of want to do it, not like poetry per se.
Do it.
Do it.
But-
Do it.
No.
Well, you got anything right now you want to share with us?
Yeah.
He pulls out his
This is the reason
journal.
of the podcast.
Yeah, right.
Today I am me. No, I
That's
think
beautiful.
this could be like a spot where you do like small, intimate music stuff here. No,
Yeah.
I like the idea of like getting together every 2 weeks for something. Like
Cool. It's Pat approved.
Yeah, dude, you got two now.
Wow.
2 in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I like it. Where it's like just meeting other minds. Like I think differently than you.
Right.
Just like here's this idea, or like even like what you just asked us. Like I have this. What do you guys think?
Right.
Like,
Right. And then Timmy saying the story, then I was like, oh well, this story
Exactly.
is interesting.
Just like a spitball.
Yeah.
What do they call it? There's a name for those things. You know what I'm talking about? People do these things. I don't know. Lauren wanted to do it.
Weekly meetings.
Not like a.
He's talking about AA.
Yeah, AA.
Yeah.
Let's
Rest
go
in
to
peace. They
AA.
shut that down officially last year, like December.
What?
AIM?
No, AA.
Oh, I thought you said AIM, like to the
Deaf
chat.
motherfucker.
I told you, it's
my
the headset.
Yeah, I turned it up.
Well, rest in peace to AIM as well.
R.I.P.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh God, so you
probably had it.
I had
You
AIM.
had AIM.
Oh yeah.
but not AOL.
No, I didn't. I was
Throwback.
right after AOL, but I had
Yeah.
my
We were
my
deep
name
in
was
that.
Cowgal.
The chat room.
Calgal.
Cowgal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Calgal.
She would have done well in the chat rooms.
Calgal.
I have a question for you guys. What? Because I'm just interested in hearing a male's point of view. Because I coach men and women on dating, but what are some of the biggest turnoffs for women for you when you're dating them? Like first date, second date, and you're like, damn, I can't do that anymore.
I think just the word dating in general.
I don't love
I think
the
the
word
female
dating.
population.
Well, not necessarily that. Just the idea of dating in general.
Yeah, I don't love the
It's
idea
been a
of
long
dating.
time for your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love dating. I don't love
Dating's awkward. Yeah, dating sucks.
Yeah, I'm different too. Where I'm like,
No, Pat's a Seinfeld episodes. If you want some real things from him, like he can give you every little weird.
yeah, I've had a
quirky
bunch of
thing
weird things happen. But I'm usually.
You want to list out a few?
Yeah,
'Cause
wait, this is
she would- I'm sure
intriguing.
she
You
would
can't
love
just
these.
skip over
I
that.
always
Or
think
sh-
this is kind
or
of a
should
funny
I go?
one. Well, I always think
I'll
this is
tell
funny.
her if you want me to.
Well, I got one.
Okay.
I always think this is kind of funny. I had this girl I was talking to for a minute. This is over 10 years ago, and hung out a couple times, and then I had a dream that she had a mustache after one time we hung out, and I was out. I couldn't.
That was it?
No, he's not joking either.
No, yeah, that was it.
But and she obviously shouldn't have a real mustache.
I don't think so.
Did you?
She wasn't around.
Did you
when
see
that
her?
happened.
Did you
I
see her
don't
get
know.
Oh my gosh! That's so interesting.
But that was just one of his AOL chat room girlfriends.
Right.
So.
That was Cowgirl.
Yeah.
That was me.
That was
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah. That was past AOL.
No, people are really interesting with the specific. I mean, dreams are in itself interesting because people get freaked out and start fights from dreams. But I was talking to a girl yesterday, and she's gonna sign up to work with me, and I was asking, okay, well, what's the last guy that you liked? And she was like, well, it was this guy I met on Match.com. We were talking, everything was good. We were gonna go out for a first date, but then I found him on social media, and I realized he's a Game of Thrones fan. And and she said, and I just don't really like gore, guts, fighting scenes. I've heard that show has a lot of inappropriate sex, so that's just not going to be my guy. And I was like, what? And my immediate reaction was, okay, obviously I respect your opinion, but I want you to know Game of Thrones is one of the most popular shows in the world. So it's tough when we are so limiting on what we're looking for.
Yeah. I do that shit for real.
The girl could have shaved her mustache.
Yeah. Or waxed it.
That's like
even better.
A prickly lip all the time. I'm out. Goodbye.
Tell her some more. There's a nice little list.
There's lots of those.
What about the one girl who spoke to her mother a certain way?
Oh yeah, it was just a weird like. It was just. I don't remember what she said. I think she was like, "Hola, mami." She spoke Spanish to her mom, but it was like real like childlike, like "Hola, mami." And I was like,
"You've done."
Baby voices are
done.
Also,
but it wasn't like all the time. It was just like one time.
Wow.
That was one time. That was part of it. But also, I was kind of looking for that way out anyway.
Yeah.
She had a dog and like.
That's another one. Yeah. Dog.
We don't want to get involved with all that. Had a dog who slept in the bed, and I was just
that is a normal deal breaker.
Yeah.
Like if people have dogs that sleep in their bed, you're either that type of person and you're down, or that really grosses you out.
Yeah, I was out pretty quick.
Me personally, that's not something I don't want my dog's hair in me.
No, definitely not.
You know what I was thinking when you first started talking about the coaching of it, like how much that would probably work outside of just like a dating thing, like. We're brothers and we're business partners. Like from a business world, I'm sure you could go into that.
You trying to hire her?
Yeah. And do the same.
What's up?
It's a roundabout way of hiring me.
You want to talk about something?
I don't like what Tim has been saying.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So when you were asking if I work with couples, you were really saying, do I work with brothers?
Right.
Okay, got it.
Which is the whole root of why you're here for the podcast today. That's what I'm right.
No, but it is Pat approved.
Yeah. But for real, like there's so much where people are trying to find the right match in business and they aren't able to do that. But I'm sure it's the same
with their
kind of
business
shit.
partners, you mean?
Yeah, it's the same
kind of
shit.
I mean, that's Bumble BFF and Bumble Biz were two really smart ways to.
I don't know.
You've never heard of that? Okay, so have you heard of Bumble?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Bumble's a dating app.
Yeah.
You can go on there and you can find matches for romantic reasons.
But isn't that like the female has to accept or something on Bumble?
The female has to say, hey, first.
Never been on Bumble. Sorry, I was out of the game before Bumble came around.
Yeah. You were on AOL. No. So the female has to say, hey, first, but that's it. So it's a really quick,
Gotcha.
Hey, what's up? Yeah. But they also have Bumble Biz. So you go on there and you create a business profile. You say what your business is and who you're looking to connect with. So if you're a podcast host, say I'm looking for people to come on my podcast who are interested in business.
Cool. Yeah.
And then there's Bumble BFF. So if you move to a new city and you don't have a lot of new friends, then you can meet people that are like-minded that just want to be your friend. I think that one's the most awkward because it's I think it's hard to make real friends as an adult sometimes, but it's really needed. A lot of the people that I meet personally for relationship coaching, I say, well, what do you like to do? What do you like to do for fun? How do you spend your time? And a lot of them are lonely. A lot of them either move to a new city and they don't have a big circle of friends, so they can't meet people through that. And so it's kind of hard to meet friends that way. So,
sure.
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't know that I had a Bumble Biz.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Both of those are really awesome. But to answer your question, in terms of coaching, a lot of times my coaching turns into life coaching, and it's relationships are so confusing, whether it's a romantic, intimate relationship or if it's a relationship with your father, a relationship with your past, business partner, future business, all of that is really the same. It's about kind of understanding yourself and what you value and what you're looking for and what you demand as respect.
Sure.
And then how you can share that with other people.
What do you think's the best thing you've done? Best decision you've made business-wise, or maybe it was to go in business.
Best decision I've made business-wise. Such a good question.
Or worst, and both actually.
I think the best decision I've made business-wise is to start my own business. Is just to get out of getting out of matchmaking and start working with clients one-on-one and coaching them, because matchmaking is limiting. It's they come to me and they say, okay, I want this type of girl, and find it. versus coaching, like we get to figure out how they can find that type of girl. And it's become so much more successful for my clients.
When you're matched, when you match them and then they start dating, like let's say, are you talking to them at all? Or are they done?
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay. Well, now you are,
constantly.
but I'm saying when you were just a matchmaker, that perspective of it, was it all right? I found my girl. We're done.
Right. Yeah. No. With matchmaking, it was a little bit less communication.
Okay.
Because really, they looked at me as outsourcing their entire dating life to me.
Yeah.
As if they needed a recruiter to find someone to work for their business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't as personal, and so we're kind of shooting blindly. It was like, okay, she looks like the pictures that you sent me. Let's see.
Right.
But dating is so intricate and so special. So working with my clients now one-on-one, now when they're in a relationship, I am very close with them. They're calling me and saying like, ugh, we got in this fight. I don't really know what it's all about. What do you think? I'm also working on rolling out some meditations for my clients, which is definitely effective for a lot of women. Love meditations, but I think a lot of men need them too.
I love meditating.
Oh my gosh, just like a pre-date meditation to get you in the mood.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, I don't know about that. I fall asleep every time I meditate, so I'd be like,
well, I'm also working on a pre-sex meditation.
Okay.
I think a lot of women resonate with that one because a lot of women feel really insecure about their bodies, and it's the type of meditation to like get into your body and feel free and let go, and really like the mind-body connection. It shouldn't be there during sex. Sex should be so free and liberating. It should be the time of your day that you aren't thinking about anything. And you can really kind of just dive into that.
Timmy might make a baby soon.
Yeah, if you're listening to that meditation, it's happening.
Numero dos. So when you first started rolling with the biz, like what made you decide to do that? Of course, there was an opportunity. You saw it. And you're like, why am I not doing more coaching with them? But did you have people lined up? Or did you just say, fuck it, I'm going to figure this shit out?
What made me roll with it was my own frustration of the gap between, okay, someone coming to me and saying, I want this type of person, find it, and me not being able to do that because I can't work with someone if they're not going to be attracting the type of person they're looking for. So to explain that, I'd have people come to me and they'd say, I want a guy who works out 5 times a week and is in super good shape, is really loves his job and is super successful, loves his family and loves to travel and travels often. And I'm like, okay, cool. Tell me about your workout regimen. And they're like, I don't work out. And she's like a little bit overweight, which is fine, but and then I'm like, tell me about your job. And they're like, I fucking hate my job. And I'm like, okay, tell me about your travel schedule. Like, I haven't traveled in 6 years. And I'm like, okay, well.
Somebody opposite of me.
Right, exactly. And oftentimes people do that. It's kind of like the thing when you go shopping and you're like, I'll buy a size down because I'm going to lose this weight.
I've never done that. No.
It resonates with girls.
Yeah, of course.
Or I'll buy a size up because I'm going to get bigger. I guess guys would think that way.
Sure. I've definitely done that. You have? Like college.
I think I've been wearing the same size since like I was 17.
Oh, bro, I was rocking three X tall tees in college.
Yeah,
tall tees.
Fuck yeah, it was.
That said AOL.
The 90s, man.
But yeah, no. So it's kind of the same scenario there, where people want what they want to be, but you're never going to be able to keep that until you're being that yourself.
That makes a lot of sense. What do you think's like the worst decision you've made since you've started this? You've been doing it a year. You fucked something up.
Yeah. Oh, I've fucked a lot of things up. The worst decision I've made is that I haven't made the decision, right? That I've been like, oh, maybe I should do this, or I'll do this, or I'll do it tomorrow. And then not following a schedule is my hardest thing. So I really love my daily routine, because if I don't do it, it'll be 1 p.m. and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done anything that I wanted to do. All I've done is work for matchmaking, but really I had so much time that I could have done other things.
How much time are you spending each month or week with your particular people? Is everybody different?
Everyone's different. Okay. Yeah. I like to do an hour a week with most clients. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. Yeah, that's pretty involved.
Yeah.
I like the idea of doing that with a business. I'm back to this, but maybe we're stealing your gig, like talking and working with businesses.
Just consulting.
Yeah. But like more on like a hands-on kind of deal where like we're not going, or maybe we are going in business meetings with them or something.
So consulting businesses on how to grow?
Yeah, but like more, and we kind of do that already.
We've offered people that before, not recently, but I
mean like super like, hey, we're meeting with Nora, like we're gonna sit in on the meeting and act as if we're part of the company.
Oh yeah.
And like, oh shit, you said this, you should have said that. Maybe we sit and record it on the phone or something where you can't tell, but it's still being recorded.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of consultants do that.
Yeah. Oh, do they? I didn't just think of that.
No.
Just make that up.
No. Bro.
That in depth.
Nah, bro.
Hands on.
Nah, bro.
Really. I feel like that's. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want anyone in my fucking meetings.
So when I realized I wanted to get into coaching, I worked with a coach myself, and what we would do with that is
a business coach or what?
She's a life coach in general.
Okay, yeah.
I actually met her because when I was living in New York and I was a matchmaker, and I was like, okay, I like this, but I want to do something different. I did 2 sessions with her, and she looked at me and she's like, Nora, I don't meet many people like you. I think you should be a coach yourself. And I'm hiring, and I'd love to teach you how to do this, and then we could work together. So I actually work with her in affiliate ways a lot. But to talk about what you were just talking about, what we did with her and how she trained me is I would record my calls with clients.
Sure.
And then she'd listen to the recordings, and we'd highlight where I either really listened to the client and let them feel vulnerable and hold on to their emotion, or where I might have turned and not really noticed what they said, and we didn't even get to dive into a pain point that they brought up. So that was really helpful. That's
so crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like having her sitting.
Well, I like that
in the meeting.
But I mean, so crazy, like how much of it is mental and like how they're feeling. Like, all right, let them be emotional right now. Don't cut that off. Let that ride. Let that emotional feel, because that means they're going to be more involved with you.
Totally.
And like what you say, and it's all like a mental psychology game almost you're playing with them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. To do my job, I have had people tell me in the first 10 minutes some of the hardest things they've ever been through in life, and then they look at me and they're like, Nora, I haven't told my closest friends that. So I love that I have that power, because I use it in the best way I can, and that's to hold on to their feelings and hold on to their pains and tell them it's okay, and then work through on tangible steps on how to get out of it and how to be better moving forward and not let that hinder their entire life.
Yeah. When I used to be a personal trainer, I was kind of like a psychologist.
Oh yeah.
You like hear about it, like
especially when they're working out, they just spill everything.
Yeah, and then they're tired and exhausted. They're getting emotional, and then you
yeah.
find out like whose boyfriend cheated on them, or like dad's being an asshole, or girl's got her period. Like shit that's going on in their life always.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
It's interesting because not a lot of people get to hear that. No one shares about that on Instagram. No one's like, I had the worst fucking day today. You know. And I think it's powerful to know that everyone has bad days. Everyone deals with that shit.
Sure. And I would sometimes I'd be like, I don't feel like doing this. And then you go in and then they tell you their story, what's going on with their life. And you're like, all right, quit being a bitch.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And like, you're there for that person.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping the blog will do is people can come to it and be like, all right, like this happens to everyone and this is how you get through it.
As far as content and like marketing behind that, so you'll do a blog. You don't do any? I know you said you had videos of long form stuff.
Yeah.
When we had talked, you were going to.
I was going to do YouTube.
Yeah, but no.
I can. I'm starting with the blog right now with those themes, and then I think with each blog post, what I'm hoping to do is then do a YouTube video aligned with that.
Sure.
So if the theme is how do you know when she's the one, or how do you know when he's the one? How do you know when the person is the one? Because that's a question a lot of people bring up, and that's something a lot of people really struggle with. So that would be the theme, that I tell a story about someone I met and I matched, and maybe they were dating for a long time and I thought they were going to get married, and then the guy kind of freaked out and pulled away, and then how I coached him through that and figured out if she was the one or not the one, and then do a video with 8 steps to know how
connect
to
that.
Yeah.
Would it be like actors in it?
We talked about that. I might need to hire you guys to do that, because I definitely don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
The thing I want to stay away from is the corny answers,
Definitely.
right? Just like the shitty, like, what's the most important thing in a relationship? And you just list off 7 things, and I want it to be real stories that can connect with people.
Sure. When you're doing the content for the Fit Fab Fun and other places, are you doing different types of shit, or is it your standard, like, hey, or do they approach you and say, hey, we want you to write 5 things that would be great for a relationship?
Yeah.
Or 5 things to find a guy, or whatever.
Yeah. For FabFitFun, they approached me and they wanted to do a segment called Ask a Matchmaker. And so then they asked all of their followers what type of questions they had. So I answered those type of questions, like when to have sex, and what to do when you get ghosted, or what to do when you're not interested in someone, or what to do when you're super interested in someone. So yeah, sometimes it is a little bit repetitive, but at the same time, I think there's so much power in the stories that I've heard and sharing them with people. I haven't been able to do that with FabFitFun. I don't think I'll be able to do that with anyone. besides myself, besides my blog.
You don't think so?
No.
I think that's such a thing that people would
Want the
latch on to.
stories?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason why I won't be able to do that is because the blog that I'm writing, I'm mixing and matching all of the stories because I can't share any of this personal information.
Right.
So and that's hard to do off the cuff. I can't say like, oh, well, this, and then mix it with this client.
Yeah.
So the stories, I have time to like sit down and realize the themes of each one, and then mix each one to make it the most powerful and the most applicable.
Is there like a certain time, like Valentine's Day or anything that's like super people are trying to be in a relationship?
Season. Yeah. Holidays.
Sure.
Well, right now people
like,
are going
super
crazy.
Busy? People are
right
like,
now people are really wanting it. New Year's.
People, now is it
Day.
female based right now, or is it?
It's half.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because years ago, Pat and I would be like, holidays are coming up. We should probably make sure keep the arm's length away.
Get out.
Yeah, get out for anything that's. I mean, this is years ago. This is when we were immature.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
high school.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I would have think it would be more female based, but half and half, huh? Roughly.
I mean, I think so. I always say that men have a red light or a green light. Women always have a green light. Women always want love. They always want companionship. We just love that, and we're multitaskers, right? We can focus on our career and we can focus on our relationship. That's why women are good at being mothers, because when you're a mom, you have to do a lot of different jobs at the same time. Men have a red light or a green light. Men are very linear. Men think about one thing at a time. So I personally don't think men are very good at being a boyfriend until they have their shit together with their career, until they know what they're doing and where their passions, until they wake up in the morning and they're like, that's what I did and that's where I'm going and this is who I am. Then they can say, oh shit, I'm in my bed alone. Where do I meet someone? So the men I work with usually are a little bit older, late 30s, mid 40s. And they kind of had that epiphany moment of like, holy shit, I want to be with someone. So now let's find it.
But they've already been established and they know what they're doing. And
normally. Yeah.
As far as content moving forward, blog, what else type things do you think you'll do or try to do, or like relationships or talk to this company or FabFitFun types?
Yeah.
Like outside of the box type shit? Or are you just trying to like, let me do my content and see where it goes?
I'm really excited about these stories and these blogs because I really think that they are so personal and so vulnerable that they're going to resonate with a lot of people.
How will you drive people to that?
To the blog?
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to hire you.
Yeah.
I need to do more research on that.
Sure.
I use Instagram a lot to do that. Yeah. I'm building my mailing list right now.
Okay.
And then I'm hoping it's word of mouth. If there's any, honestly, if you guys have any tips for how it can be a shareable story, because I think that's how you drive a lot of content, a lot of followers, is someone reads it and then they really want to share it on their Facebook. And you know what those are. Usually they're inspirational, they make you feel good, or they're kind of a
relatable. Yeah,
they're relatable. Yeah. They're like whoa, holy shit, can you believe this? I can't wait to share this. And again, we touched on this when we first started talking, but a lot of the stories I hear are sad, right? So no one wants to share like, oh, that's so depressing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm walking this fine line between, okay, I want to share this real vulnerable story that will connect with people, but then add on this value of like, this is how we fix it. This is how we change it. And this is how we can make it positive.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll add a feature in there of like, share this.
Sure. I had I was at this thing a couple weeks ago, and the lady who it's a bidet called Tushy. I was telling you about it. So it's Tushy bidet, and she does like really funny, cool stuff. Her book's right there. I don't know. I'm back there somewhere. I had it up there. It's called Do Cool Shit. Her name's Nikki. Cool ass girl. And one of the things they do is they have real customers like write in like this bidet, blah, 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 whatever it is. But they have other people read it. Like I would read 5 different customers what they said while I'm sitting on a toilet.
Yeah, I was about to say, are we talking about the bidets that clean your ass?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, is there a different type of bidet?
No.
I was like, what do you mean there were comments? Cool.
So they read like actual customers. So like in your instance, like a funny thing, like I could read the funny thing where it's just like, it's personal, but it's not as personal because now it's like somebody else reading it.
Yeah. I was thinking about something kind of similar to that with the comments of people of their own experiences. I was thinking of adding in a section of kind of like ask the matchmaker, ask Nora. When you're going through something really shitty or scary or you really can't find your dream person and you're so ready for it and you have a specific question, then start writing answers to those type of questions. So you kind of a column.
Yeah. Who's the... I may have brought this up to you before, but a podcast called Guys We Fucked.
Oh.
Did I tell you about this?
No.
Oh, God, they're great. Look it up.
Oh.
It's called Guys We Fucked, and it started with 2 girls And one girl was just had a breakup, and she's like, we should talk about it. And so they talked about it on a podcast, and they went from there to different places where they brought on exes, and then they brought on people like you who are relationship people and yada, yada. And then now it's like a whole big thing. But even once they got rolling, they had so many things where they would get emails on Sundays, and they would just, the Instagram post is just the email headlines. And it's like, you know, whatever sexual thing that happened this weekend or this or that. And so like the content became a lot of what just people
That's
were just
interesting.
feeding the content to them.
I had someone DM me yesterday, and he was like, hey, I have a question. And I was like, sure, what's up? How can I help? And he was like, I really want to find a girlfriend. And so I looked at his Instagram, and there were a shit ton of photos of him and this blonde girl, like seriously 4 weeks ago. And I was like, well, it looks like you had a girlfriend recently. What happened there? And he responds, I accidentally cheated on her 8 times.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, that's a headline in itself. Like, what do you mean you accidentally cheated on her 8 times?
Yeah.
And then we talked further about that. But a lot of times people create their own content, which is funny.
Yeah.
If you go look at their thing, guys, we fucked. I forget what it is. Their actual Instagram.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it.
But it's, let me see if it's on here. It's not guys we fucked.
No.
I think it's like about last night or something. But it's like great headlines. Sorry about last night. So the headlines in the last one, this was 4 days ago. I don't want to read that one. My boyfriend's brother is trying to fuck, and I'm not into it.
Oh my.
I got fingered at a nightclub and thought about you too. I said no to the D and I woke up guilt-free. And, you know, shit like that. So, like, people are writing in these long things. So then their podcast is about that stuff.
All of that stuff. Yeah, there's another account called Text from Your Ex.
Okay.
Very entertaining.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm sure you could run with stuff like that.
Yeah.
The content builds itself. How often are people DMing you stuff like?
Every day. All the time.
Really?
Oh,
that
yeah.
much? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because again, the hard part about relationships is that there's no course for it, right? Like we don't go to school learning about how to be in a relationship, how to feel love, how to give love. The only way we find out about that is really from our parents. And unfortunately, a lot of times that's not the best way to figure it out. So we get into these situations where we have no idea where to turn, which way is up, which way is down. So me being there and having talked to so many people, it's an awesome resource to be able to talk to me and just kind of hear someone else's. I'm oftentimes a soundboard. Like I'm not telling them a lot, but I'm just hearing them. I'm just listening to them. And then we talk about maybe ways we can get around it.
I'd imagine too, just doing that, they hear themselves say it out loud and then like,
it's like going to a therapist. Yeah.
With the meditation thing, will that be you guiding it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Interesting. So do you do that now at all?
Meditations?
Yeah, like guided message.
Yeah, I'm working on doing them right now. Yeah.
Cool.
Just maybe I'll use your recording studio.
Yes,
do it. Come through. We'll have to shut the window upstairs. Did you hear like the motorcycle go by a couple times? I always hear that shit.
I'm adding a meditation for before you get on AOL too.
I like that.
Just to prime you.
I like
so
it.
that you're
chat
your best
rooms.
self.
Yes.
That's interesting. So would they be like quick 3-minute type deals?
Yeah. I mean, and even meditation for like after you get in a fight, like it's so many times after a fight. Like I know for me, if I ever get in a fight with someone, a friend, a relationship, anyone, I get ice cream. That's like what I do. I need that. And I would so love to have just like, okay, I'm upset. I might have fucked up or they might have fucked up and I'm pissed right now. But rather than going to ice cream, like just listen to meditation, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I think the sex one is really powerful too, because a lot of people get in their head about sex, and it's so important to not get in your head about that. First dates, a lot of people get really nervous about first dates and then act really weird on first dates. And if you had, me saying exactly what I say to my clients before a first date, that can really help, and that can gain, it can bring you a lot of confidence and a lot of energy that you wouldn't have had without listening to that.
I like it.
Thanks.
I'm excited for that one.
What other meditations would you want to hear? And they're not, I could also I could call them something different.
Well, morning is good.
Like manifestations.
Yeah.
Or what's the other word like that? I mean, I do, TMAC?
Yeah.
Okay, I do TMAC. TMAC is a 5-part or 4-part.
Post-workout.
Yeah, it's like a post-workout.
Meditation thing?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't necessarily have to be a meditation. It could be like a pep talk, or I haven't thought of like a single bitch meditation, like one that's just like telling the girl like, you're fucking awesome, like you don't need a guy.
Yeah.
This is what you should, this is what you should do to make yourself feel better. Like stop thinking about him, stop freaking out. Because I have so many female clients that I have one that I was working with a couple days ago, and she went on a first date with a guy. a week and a half ago. The first date went great. 2 days later, they talked on the phone for 6 hours.
Oh my
so
Lord.
it's obvious he's interested and excited. Then he got sick.
Oh.
And so this past weekend, they couldn't spend time together. And she like randomly, she lives in Sherman Oaks, and she was like, I'm in Venice, which is far. And she was like, do you want me to drop anything off? Like some health remedies? Like, and again, they've only been on a first date. That's a lot. That's a very sweet gesture.
Sure.
And he said, no, I'm really sick. Like, I don't want to get you sick. She's like, okay. And then the next day she was like, what are you doing? Like, blah, blah. And and then when, right.
Yeah.
And then when she talked to me, she was like, I have hardly been able to sleep all weekend. I talked to my guy friends and they said he's not interested in, we've all been there. Women do that. We obsess. When we like someone, we want to go all in as fast as we can.
Yeah.
And if they had something to listen to just chill them out and to stop obsessing, like they're probably going to attract the guy a lot better.
Sure.
And then they're also going to be able to stop thinking about it. So
Yeah.
I want to work on stuff like that.
I like the idea of calling it single bitch, whatever.
Yeah. Single bitch meditation or.
I feel like that's viral type. Like you hear it and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, what is this?
Yeah. What do you think the guy one should be to make the guy like,
Stop-
or what do you think the
stop being
guy
an
needs to
asshole.
listen to?
I don't know. I mean, have I been nervous on? I don't think I get nervous on dates, but I'm always like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it sounds cool to set that, and then once it's set, it's like, there it comes.
exactly.
Like, nah, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
But I think of just a general meditation, like whatever you're saying, just to calm you and bring you in. Like, all right, let's chill the fuck out, or like this will be fun. And if it's not a great date, you just meet somebody.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't kill you.
Yeah. What do you think the hardest part about dating is for guys? Or what do you think? Like,
You're
I don't
You've
know.
been in the game a lot more recent than I have.
Yeah.
I'm on AOL chat rooms, but I'm old school.
Old school, baby. The hardest part about dating, I don't know. I don't care to a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like that's usually been my thing. Like I'm not really searching for that.
yeah.
And if it's happened,
And you
it's
don't
happened.
like go out to bars.
I don't-
and don't do that.
Yeah, I
that
don't do
thing.
shit.
Yeah, so it'd have to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's
online
not
type
Timmy,
of- yeah.
so I don't know who else. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's probably it. Is more like I'm just not like seeking it or haven't sought it.
So you've never met someone that you were like, holy shit, you're my dream girl and I don't know how to get you?
Probably. I also am not like if I saw a girl physically.
That's
Like
not what
I've
it makes you.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
like that's cool. Like, but here I used to tell X this. There's especially in LA, hot girls are a dime a dozen.
They're
Like, you just
everywhere.
roll
Yeah.
by them, and it's whatever. Like who gives a shit? There's tons of them. And there's
Every guy moves to LA that's listening to this.
yeah, I know, right?
Car starts.
Pack your bags, boys.
Yeah, we keep talking about how great LA is. chill out on that a little bit. It's overpopulated and hot right now.
And it's burning to the ground.
And it is fucking Jesus.
It's just so
man.
sad.
Yeah.
That sucks. And we're not far from that. I don't know if you noticed on my porch, there's ash.
Oh
Like
my
a
gosh,
little
no, I
bit
didn't see
There's
that.
just a little, like
Oof.
a light dusting, and we're, what do we say, 20 miles
About
away
20
from
miles,
Malibu?
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. I don't know what I was saying about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we kind of answered it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did.
That's all.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
I appreciate it.
Pat
Yeah.
approved.
Yeah.
I think at that point, this is our closing time here.
Closing
Time.
time. That's all. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like that. Either of you.
What?
Actually, not a bad singer, Nora.
Me either.
No, you're not bad. But it didn't sound terrible in here. That's why I thought like this could be like a cool space for like a little mini concert.
Yeah.
No?
You think you started with
Who's
that, and I think we're
singing?
finishing with that. Yeah.
I said that like I know but like what's that NPR thing? Tiny Desk?
Yeah.
Like you know what Tiny Desk
Tiny
is? NPR?
Desk. Yeah.
Something simple like that, and you have like 15
Yeah.
people in here.
Yeah.
I think those could be really
Have you ever heard of
fucking
So
cool.
Far Sounds?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's it called?
So Far Sounds.
Okay.
Here's
It's
how
a great date for
Yeah.
anyone who's listening wants a date idea.
So
Perfect.
Far Sounds.
Yeah. SOFAR sounds.
Yes. I just learned of it like 2 weeks ago at the same event where I met that or I heard that Mickey girl speak. A guy who works for them works for another company that was there, so he was talking to us about it.
Cool.
And I might go this weekend.
Is that like a
That's
tiny
amazing.
desks thing?
It's kind of up and coming artists, and they have some big artists and some just really new artists, but they're always really talented, and they perform at different locations around the city. And I think So Far Sounds is in like all over the nation, but you never know where the location is until the day of the concert. I think they'll give you like the general idea of neighborhood,
like West Side.
Yeah, West Side or downtown or Malibu, and they're usually in really cool locations, like a museum that's closed down, or a millionaire's house that rented it out for the night. And they're intimate, so I don't think there's more than 30 people there, and you get to see the
so
artist
cool.
really.
Don't you
personal.
not know who the artist is too, or something?
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been to a bunch.
One of
You're
my friends
familiar.
works for them too. Yeah.
Is his name something Pittman? What's his name?
No.
Damn it.
It's a girl.
It's a
Sarah.
girl. Oh, it's not him. All right.
Pittman.
I do want to go, but also like you need a code to get in line for it or something. Like he gives a code to be able to sign up, even though you still have to pay. It wasn't a free code.
I don't know.
I'm interested though. I like the weirdness of it. Like,
yeah, I love
it's
super unique and like fun and playful.
Uh-huh.
My boyfriend is the one who turned me on to it, so
yeah,
it's a good move.
I like it. Did you guys go on like an early date?
Yeah, I think that was like maybe our 6th or 7th date.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
6th or 7th.
Yeah, he was a good dater. He really.
Did your company match you guys together?
No, I met my boyfriend on Hinge, which is a dating app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hinge.
Yeah,
okay.
and I wasn't on there I think I went on 2 dates before I met him.
Did you tell him what you do for a living right
yeah,
away?
Mm-hmm. Which is intimidating. That is like,
I'm sure.
Yeah. When I first started the job as a matchmaker, I was dating someone else, and when we broke up, I was like, fuck, I do not want to talk to a woman all day, every day about what they're looking for, because I fucking hate love right now. This sucks. But I got through that, and then it'd been a long time, and then I met my current boyfriend on a dating app. And yeah, I think, to be honest, dating someone who works in the love business, you've got to be, as a guy, you've got to be a really confident guy in yourself, which he is, and I'm really thankful for that.
So he works at Barukas.
Yep.
What is his role there? I was telling Timmy about him.
He's the founder.
He is the founder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't think he was the founder for some reason.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
I mean, he at this point he's running the whole thing, and he has, let's see, 4 other partners with him. Yeah, 4 other guys with him.
Wow. So him, 4 others. So 5.
Mm-hmm. It's 5 of them. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're headquartered here or based here? Or based here?
Mm-hmm.
Santa Monica.
Yeah, their warehouse is in San Diego, but
cool.
yeah, they kind of work.
Barukas
a lot
nuts.
of them live here.
Barukas.
They are so good. I had a handful before.
You saw
I've had them
Whole Foods? Whole Foods?
On Amazon or on
Amazon?
Barukas.com,
Okay.
and they'll be in stores early next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are they new?
They rolled out, I think their website launched in March. Yeah, because him and I were at a wedding March 3rd.
Wow.
I remember the day.
That's crazy.
We kept checking. He was like, does the website look good? Let's do a fake order. Let's see. Were there any glitches? And I was like, yeah, looks great.
We know that world.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We should have him come on here.
Oh,
I'd be
yeah.
super interested in talking about. We'll do that.
For sure.
Definitely.
Next
Down in
time.
the warehouse in San Diego would take the
But he lives right
studio.
down the street.
Yeah,
We're not
going
going
to
to
sit
go
down
in a loud ass.
live from the warehouse.
Yeah, loud ass.
We see all these nuts everywhere.
Yes, nuts.
No, not November.
That's right.
All right, Nora. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good.
Thanks, guys. Bye.